Hello, my name's Jon Sermon. I'm a church leader based in the UK, also with strong contacts with Uganda through a charity called Romans 111 Trust. And those of you who've been watching my videos up till now, you'll be aware that I started recording them to encourage people in the face of the awful situation that the COVID pandemic put us in almost 2 years ago now. This is the first I've recorded since the launch of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and it does seem that has put us in an awful situation again, perhaps in some senses far worse, certainly for the people of Ukraine, than the COVID pandemic. But with the news yesterday of a direct attack on a nuclear power facility, the potential that this could develop into an emergency way beyond what Chernobyl was, the risk of overspill in terms of violent conflict across Central Europe or even wider, it makes us think we are in a very precarious situation, doesn't it? And how can we find encouragement against such a backdrop? Well, one of the ways will be offering to help in whatever ways we can. I know that for very few of us would it be appropriate to say, let's go to Ukraine and join the fighting. For many, however, it may well be appropriate to donate funds through the Disasters Emergency Committee or Red Cross or some other source of a charity that's directly helping the people in Ukraine and the refugees in the neighbouring countries. For all of us, I believe, even if we're not used to praying, there is a call to prayer. It's hard to see in a practical way how actually God is still sovereign. God is the one in charge of the nations, and our own human behaviour of ignoring God and turning away and rebelling has led to so many awful situations over the centuries, and it is the only explanation, as I see it, of what's going on now. Yes, we could look at this and make our assumptions about how Mr. Putin has become so power hungry and possibly crazed, deranged. These sorts of terms are being used speculatively. And yes, we could also conclude, just as we do with a historical site in relation to Adolf Hitler, that this is evil behaviour by a person who's lost their moral compass. But also we can see that it is part of the human rebellion against our Creator, and our own role in acknowledging our own rebellion and sinfulness, our own letting God down and letting one another down, and seeking forgiveness through Jesus Christ can set the backdrop to prayer that will be helpful and effective. We've heard accounts of missiles going missing, failing to reach their targets, of armoured convoys running out of fuel and becoming stuck, of Russian soldiers losing their way and having to seek directions and help from locals, and others deliberately and rightly surrendering because as young conscripts they didn't even know they were being sent to war. They thought they were on exercise. But more than that, we can cry out to God for his help and intervention in this awful situation. Jesus Christ is the Prince of Peace, and it is his desire that we should live with one another at peace. Let's join with the multitudes across the nations, really praying for a peaceful outcome. Even though we can't see how it would be achieved, we can still pray for it. And we can still recognise that God is the one to whom all the nations must eventually surrender and give their allegiance through Jesus Christ. God bless you.